Hello, this is Not a Spring Chicken. Okay, perhaps we're a little bit later than normal, but a very good reason. This is a Huntington Art Gallery renewed. Huntington, which is infamous for its library, botanical gardens, and of course its art gallery. Well, the art gallery just went through a $20 million renovation, and it is magnificent. In fact, going over there made me think of one of my favorite places in the world, L'Hermitage, or the Hermitage. You're going to have to look at that museum. Anyway, we're going to bring Oldecam on now so we can go over comments on the headlines of today for OFN. Yamaguchi wins Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah, as everybody knows, she wasn't supposed to, but Mr. Taylor had done so bad over the last month that they basically had to let a person that actually had talent win.
Barack Obama's win over Hillary Clinton in Oregon puts him within 100 delegates of the nomination.
That's if you include the superdelegates, and if you throw out the superdelegates, she actually does lead him in popular vote now.
And what happens if you include Florida and Michigan?
Then he's still he's like 300 or 400 votes away from getting the nomination, which means he wouldn't get it.
Exit poll. Whites help Clinton in Kentucky, not Oregon.
That's because they're all a bunch of pseudo-intellectual snobs in Oregon.
China quake focus shifting from rescue to relief.
Well, yeah, because after this latest date, rescue is basically out for the tens of thousands.
An appeals court judge who successfully battled an ethics panel for the right to criticize President Bush in the war in Iraq was voted off the bench Tuesday.
Yeah, because he may have convinced an ethics panel composed of a bunch of liberals, but it didn't work with the people.
Court strikes down Virginia late-term abortion ban.
You know, but with the Supreme Court the way it is, Congress will have to strike it down to make it work.
A malignant glioma? The diagnosis doctors give Senator Edward Kennedy is the worst kind of brain cancer.
Yeah, it means he's got a tumor on the brain that's basically inoperable. It gives him 1 to 3 years to live if he was in good health, and everybody knows he's not.
Ooh. China's post-quake challenge, 5 million homeless.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the resources to do that all by themselves, so they really don't need help. But they're doing it because the outside pressure says they have to.
Critics, polar bear plan might fight global warming.
Yeah, they're going to court to order the Bush administration to develop a plan for global warming before they will allow the polar bears to be placed on the endangered list. That's sort of an oxymoron, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Honda to sell new gas-electric hybrid next year.
I see. I think that was talked about by Not a Spring Chick yesterday. Go back and check the alternative fuel things on our site.
Oh yes, you'll have to check that video out. They were also talking about it at the LA Auto Show too.
That's right.
So stay tuned for future videos too on Honda. Naked pilot, flight attendant arrested in the woods.
Like, who cares if the guy is an airplane pilot and she was a attendant? They were just having a good time.
Weren't they just private citizens with it?
That's right. They were just private citizens out having a good time frolicking through the woods.
UN chief Myanmar says yes to foreign helicopters.
And then he denied them to it a little while ago.
NYPD seeks discipline for 7 officers in killing of groom.
Well, yeah, the way it works is they know they're guilty, and because they know they're guilty, they want them off the force, but that isn't going to work that way because they have 18 months to challenge the situation, which means for the next year and a half, the officers are going to get paid to do nothing.
Airlines to charge for all bags checked now.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that, they said that, what was it said? $10 for the first bag, $25 for the second bag, $100 for the third bag, and if you even want to get on the plane now to go somewhere, $25,000 extra.
What?
And that was a joke.
Wait a minute, so what happens if you bought your ticket before and supposedly you had 2 checked bags included?
Read the terms. It says they can change the terms that you agree to at any moment.
Oh.
They reserve that right to change the terms and conditions.
So make sure you check those guidelines before you go traveling.
Right.
Oil holds above $129 a barrel on supply worries.
$132 as of about 15 minutes ago, and climbing because our Congress has now given the Justice Department the go-ahead to file charges against OPEC, which is basically, you know, that's for jury rigging the whole situation so the prices are out of reason, they would have simply stopped sending us fuel, which means look for as they said last night, $200 a barrel is not out of the reason now.
The punditry disconnect continues on primary night.
Well, yeah, I mean, they can't seem to get it through their heads that certain groups of people are not going to vote for Mr. Obama regardless, meaning most of the people who support Hillary.
NFL owners vote to opt out of labor agreement.
Because the players are costing so much money they can't afford to field teams now.
Ooh, are pension funds fueling high oil?
Well, yeah, it's the same people don't realize the pension funds own the oil companies. And they tend to make more money by bringing up the price artificially high on oil. Yeah, I mean,
They forgot about that one,
Congress can't get it through their heads. There are two things. One, the oil companies don't own the oil because they don't let them drill for it. Foreign countries own it. And two, the companies are all owned by private investors, mainly little old ladies sitting clipping coupons in their rooms.
FBI agents repeatedly complained that harsh interrogation techniques used on detainees in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Guantanamo might violate the law.
Well, the problem is that if you wouldn't want it done to you, then you know it's not right to be done to someone else.
The look and feel of America's currency may have to change after a ruling that the blind and visually impaired don't have reliable access to use of paper bills.
Well, yeah, they're wanting to have, basically it's all headed towards plastic currency.
Oh, so it could all be online, right?
That's right, so where they can easily take everything you've got.
Oh, wasn't this in one of those sci-fi movies many years ago?
Yeah, it's a standard thing.
California ruling on gay marriage could impact election.
Yeah, the Democrats absolutely hate what those guys did in California because it means that the Christian right now has something else to run on besides Obama being black.
A jury convicted a police officer on Tuesday of lying to investigators after a botched drug raid that resulted in the death of a 92-year-old woman, but cleared him of 2 more serious charges.
Well, I mean, he lied about the fact that he had improperly done everything, but the woman is still dead, and they couldn't even figure that it was, it should have been at least a manslaughter charge, but they couldn't even come to that conclusion when a person was murdered.
Repression of immigrants, refugees, and undocumented people goes beyond naked violence in poor communities.
And that's how they handle the problem everywhere but the United States. They do it even in Canada.
Clinton all but vanished from the television set on Tuesday, sidelined by bigger news.
That's because Kennedy became the focus. See, Obama vanished. If Obama hadn't have been fighting it out with George Bush and McClain over Iran, he would have vanished also.
Japan stocks fell, set for the biggest drop in 2 weeks, after analysts said financial companies will report more credit losses.
Yeah, they're heavily invested in. You think that they're heavily invested in bad real estate deals here? Go to Japan and see what bad real estate deals are like.
Yeah. Obama still struggles with some Democrats,
Basically, they're all Clinton supporters is who he's struggling with.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think 50-some% of them say they won't vote for the man under any circumstances.
Giving critically ill kidney patients dialysis more than the standard 3 times a week does not improve their survival.
Yeah, but it might make them feel better, and isn't that what's important?
Quality of life.
Right.
Movie rental company Netflix just introduced a $99 set-top box capable of streaming movies over the internet directly to TV sets in the home.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any difference what they give you. If your provider can't handle it, you're not going to get the streaming videos like you want.
A Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
See, if you can't tell right from wrong, does that mean you're overqualified to be a politician?